Good morning. Merry Christmas. The 25th of December. I'm just going to make this a quick one. My daughter's still sleeping in, so I haven't had to kick off Christmas activities just yet. But I did get in a good 2 hours writing this morning. Hopped up at a good time again, and was very micro focused this morning. So back in after yesterday's very drifty, philosophical wanderings of the mind. This morning was much more focused on scene planning, and I was sort of having a look at exactly what was going to happen in chapter one, and sort of getting a better sense of that, and I guess really using the philosophical conclusions from yesterday and the way that it impacts upon the relationship of the characters and the different movements that they're going to go through. I really wanted to map that onto some sort of chapter by chapter understandings of how the characters are going to change. So I really started in chapter one. What's their starting point? What do we learn about who they are and how they operate and what they want and what they have to do. Squeaky door, sorry. Just wondering if I should put something there, but I'll wrap this up in a moment. I just really wanted to to look at how the characters start, and so I started in chapter one, and I think I made a mistake the other day when I wrote out a scene. So this was 2 days ago when I wrote out a scene in detail when I was meant to be planning, but I actually got very, very micro in terms of a real sort of action piece by piece scene. I finished it and I thought to myself, oh, I've written 800 words. That's more than the 650 that I was going for something like that. And I think I had in my mind that I'd just written out an act. So, the structure of the novel that I've got so far is, let me just put something there. Hold on. Fixed. So I've got the structure of the novel, is 2 parts to the novel, 3 chapters per part, 4 acts per chapter, and then 5 scenes per act. And I think that I must have thought I wrote enough words for an act, which would be then just 4 more of those for a chapter. But what I'd actually written was enough words for a scene, which was about that 650 word mark that I'm going for. So I had to make sure that I had enough that was going to take place to cover 5 different scenes to compose 1 act. And I was a bit I then was a bit unsure if I had enough there, and I thought, I don't, you never want to just spin things out for the sake of it and lengthen a scene or make it slower just to take up the space. I really like snappy, quick sort of functioning things, but then I thought you never know how long how the word count is going to go for a scene once you've put in all the pros and you've one of the things, and this is probably very boring, but I've just and maybe very sterile and seemingly going in the wrong direction, still thinking about word count in that way, but just in terms of slicing the action and the scenes and composing them in a balanced manner, that's sort of really what I'm thinking about. But one of the things I think too, in terms of what the sort of prose style is going to be, and maybe the way it will compose some of the length of scenes, is one of my favourite styles of writing is in Don DeLillo's Underworld, and the opening chapter, that Pafko at the Wall prologue, big, the baseball game scene, where you just get the feeling that there are cameras set up all around the stadium filming everything that's going on, all the different scenes. You've got the lad jumping over security markers to get through to the stadium without paying. You've got shots of the massive space. You've got little bits of dialogue happening. You're sort of in the commentary box, and it's just this sort of snapping between scenes in this really fluid, beautiful, very cinematic fashion. And I really like that. I mean, I love that idea that you're not just necessarily a one camera scene fixed on one location. You're really getting a collage of senses. You know, your sense data's filled up with, you've got the smell of the baseball field, you've got the popcorn, you've got the action rush and the colour of someone jumping turnstiles to get through to their seats. You've got the smoky air of the commentary box and the microphone, and you've just got all these things coming into your head, and you think, I'm there, and I'm not just in one place, but I'm everywhere. Like, I'm really part of the sort of little universe of this scene. I'm just, all part of. So I love that, and I think that style of writing is beautiful, and when it's done well, it's a really very powerful thing. So I think that's the sort of style that I'm really interested in going for. So when I think of a scene, and I think about what's going to happen in that scene, my daughter's just woken for Christmas, so I'm going to leave it here. I'll chat more about this later. Have a lovely, lovely day. Bye.